Hello dear ones, a warm good morning to one and all. Welcome to social science class. How are you dears? Are you safe at home? Okay, today let us learn a new lesson, the struggle for independence. Dear children, when do we celebrate Independence Day? Yes, we celebrate Independence Day on 15th August. Why do we celebrate Independence Day every year? The Independence Day is celebrated on August 15 every year to commemorate India's freedom from the British rule and its birth as a sovereign nation in that day in 1947. Is it clear? Okay. Do you remember which lesson we have studied in the last class? Yes, in the last class we studied about the lesson British Raj and the First War of Independence. In this lesson, we learnt about the First War of Independence. It was suppressed by the British, but it lit the flame of nationalism in the hearts of the Indians. Several leaders rose to lead the people of India in their struggle for freedom from British rule. Their efforts bore fruit when India became free in August 1947. Okay, now let us discuss about the rise of nationalism. What do you mean by the word nationalism? Which means love of and pride in one's own country. The Indians who received Western education realized that the British were draining India of its wealth. The British were becoming richer while India and the Indians were becoming poorer. This realization united the Indians. Some of the important leaders like Dadabhai Naoroji, Badruddin Tyabji, Gopal Krishna Gokhale and Umesh Chandra Banerjee came together and formed the Indian National Congress in 1885. They were called as moderates. Listen, Dadabhai Naoroji, Badruddin Tyabji, Gopal Krishna Gokhale and Umesh Chandra Banerjee came together and formed the Indian National Congress in 1885. They were called as moderates. What do you mean by the word moderate? Which means the Congress leaders who preferred a soft approach towards the British were known as moderates. Is it clear? Okay. First session of Indian National Congress was held in Bombay. Their demand was to bring reforms to the Indian society. What was their demand? Their demand was to bring reforms to the Indian society. But when the British refused to consider their request, some members of the Congress began demanding that the British grant Swaraj, which means self-rule, to the Indians. Their fiery speeches and writings led to the growth of nationalism in India and encouraged many Indians to join the freedom struggle. Bipin Chandra Pal, Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak were some of the leading members of Congress. Listen, Bipin Chandra Pal, Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak were some of the leading members of Congress. They demanded Swaraj or self-rule. Bal Gangadhar Tilak declared, "Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it." Who declared Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it? Yes, Bal Gangadhar Tilak. He wanted to arouse the feeling of patriotism in Indians. He wanted to arouse the feeling of patriotism in Indians. What do you mean by the word patriotism? Which means strong feeling of love, respect and loyalty towards one's country. Is it clear? Okay, now we can summarize what we discussed today. The rise of Indian nationalism. Unhappy and disappointed with the British rule, a few educated Indians came forward to form the Indian National Congress in 1885. In the beginning, the Congress made moderate demands like the participation of Indians in the government. Later, some members of the Indian National Congress started demanding Swaraj or self-rule for the Indians. I hope you all have understood this topic. Dear children, when you read the lesson, then you will get more idea about the topic. Okay? Thank you and have a nice day.